Okay, this is definitely the start of the podcast.
We didn't forget.
Today we have
Rheal.
Sylvan.
and the Greek. And cut.
Wait, line. Could you take two? I think I messed it up.
Line.
The biggest penis.
Quick. Well, it's still fresh in my mind.
Welcome to the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. It's a headless Jayson, so you're staring at my crotch. Deal with it. This is going to be the first podcast that we've recorded at my new place.
I'm very uncomfortable.
It's
I don't like change.
This is the kind of the setup. One of the setups. There's probably more furniture and stuff coming. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. So I'm not supposed to be in this. So there you guys go.
Red Stormtroopers.
Okay.
I did my Jamie job.
So we could have like a rainbow of stormtroopers?
Yeah, it's part of Pride Month. Why is that funny?
I don't know.
There's no reason for that to be
Do you think
funny.
any specific color would shoot better? Or would they all still be
they'd all be
stormtroopers?
terrible.
I had a racist comment.
I'm sure you did.
I think I was setting you up for that.
Yeah, you guys keep lobbing them in the air. You're trying to cancel
Hey,
my
Stefan.
mayoral run.
We don't have to try very hard.
Now I can't even use being drunk or hungover as an excuse to spew absolute horrible things.
Listen, we just want to hear you
didn't
talk
have to
about the
tell them
Senate.
that. You could have pretended.
Who is the Senate, Stefan?
I am the Senate. No, that wasn't very
You've heard it here first.
Okay.
Anyways, no Jayson to corral us.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Poor boy.
I'm not sure what we're supposed to talk about.
Jason's furniture.
Yeah, COVID. I wanted to talk about COVID.
No, you son of a bitch!
I want to talk about those truckers. No, okay.
Oh.
I'm not.
Have you heard about freedom?
I specifically wanted to not talk about that. Oh, this is hard when Jason's not doing it. Now I have to do something.
It's awkward to try and introduce a topic.
Yeah. So the topic that I was thinking of, and I completely stole it. It's based on conversations that I've had with a coworker. I found it interesting. Is that sorry? Before we continue, is everyone's mics on? Because I've had that before. Okay.
I believe
Am I about...
Okay.
Anyways.
I only see one stream on the Audacity. Anyways, the topic, we can cut this all out, right, Jamie? Yeah, you can see them here. Okay, cool.
Can I, though?
Yep.
Eat dog.
Okay, we can see ourselves.
Heat dog.
You look like a snake there. Like
Oh, sorry,
eating
I'm popping my ears.
you look like you
weird.
just ate a mouse. The topic that I wanted to discuss, and I partially wanted Jayson involved in this one.
Oh, well
Okay. Is basically what comes next. And it's Dan. Dan comes next.
Not if I'm first.
No. What I was thinking was like you spend your whole life like kind of always looking towards something. You're looking towards getting your license. You're looking towards turning 18, moving out, starting to be bar age, getting married, your job, your career, school, job, career. It seems like there's always something. And so the question I wanted to pose to you guys was, what's next for you guys? And after what's next, I guess we can get to that, is what then? Like, is that midlife crisis time? And that's where I'm going with this, and I know that's incredibly depressing.
No, because it's very simple. What's next for me is death, and then after that is necromancy.
This is what I wanted, Jay.
No, that's the thing. Like, okay, how far? Like, are you talking like just massive milestones? Or are you
It
talking
seems like everyone has a 5-year plan, or people. Sometimes
goals.
when you talk to people, it's like, well, my 5-year plan, and I don't know if I've never had one. I don't know if I've ever had one of those, but everyone has a fucking plan. Everyone's trying to get somewhere, And then once you get there, like, are you just living? Or are you just looking around going, well, we made it? Or what's next? Like, and I'd like to know specifically, I wanted to ask each of you, like Sylvan, what have you been chasing? Are you there? What's next?
What I'm chasing is renovations on my house because I already made the home purchase. So now it's just
That's
pay
been a
back some of
long
my
term.
debt, and then because what I have plans is like a full renovation, like knock walls out, complete, like redo everything.
Oh, okay.
So that's just going to take time. So my 5-year plan is more like a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
But like even then, like the whole midlife crisis, that kind of depends on when you feel old.
Yeah.
And I feel old now.
Yeah, because I'm surprised you're still awake.
I know, right?
I'd kind of disagree with that. I think the midlife crisis. Holy Jesus.
the midlife
The midlife crisis that
Yeah.
faces Canada right now. The midlife crisis, I'm thinking, is more like what Stefan said, where it's like you reach or you have all these goals that you're aiming for. If there isn't another goal, and you're sitting there going like, "What now?" I think
Exactly.
that's where it sets.
Well, normally a midlife crisis is when you're trying to like reclaim some
youth.
part of your youth. So you buy a sports car or something
Yeah.
stupid. So
Actually, yeah, it's pretty different than.
It almost
even I'm
seems like a
thinking.
bit of like
It could be
a
both,
regression,
actually.
though. Yeah, you don't know where to go, so you just, oh yeah, I'll go back to something that
Yeah.
I know that was great when I was younger.
Actually, I could see it being a bit of both. It's a. I don't have this next plan that I'm planning for right now. I'm just kind of lollygagging at the moment, and it's a bit of a, like, man, like I don't know. You've been working for 30 years. The family's all set up and everything. Like nothing's really changing at the moment. You're like, I need something exciting. I need something.
Well, like, what if, like, because everybody
It's a
talks about, like,
passion.
buying a sports car is, like, your midlife
Yeah.
crisis. What if, like, it's that whole, I have my house, my family's taken care of, I now have a little bit of spending money on something that I can actually finally just splurge on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a midlife crisis, or is that just, I've rewarded myself for good work?
No, and I
That
guess
should be a
that's
reward.
where I don't necessarily mean midlife crisis. Like, I guess I kind of asked, like, is that, I don't know how I word it, but is that a midlife crisis? But more just, you know, people get to a point and then even like, you know, you guys are talking about like, oh, you have a family, your family's taken care of. Well, like, what if you don't want a family? What if you've been just chasing your career and like a family's not in the cards? It's either not in the cards or you don't want a family. And then you just look around and you're like, okay, what is next?
Yeah.
And for some people it is a family. Some people it's not, and maybe they default into family. They go, well, I guess we'll just have kids now. You know, that's the next big adventure, which I'm sure it is. But, you know, it's not always the answer.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like, okay, I'll do my answer for this one where it's like it was high school and then just went straight into college. So that was the next goal for 4 years.
Yep.
Was college. And after that it was try to get the career. So that was the focus.
Yep.
And then it didn't really pan out the way I thought, but you ended up in a career or at a job. And so then I started with Old Dutch, and it was like, okay, you start as the relief guy, and then your next goal is to get your own route.
Yep.
Which is yours. So I was like, okay, that's kind of my next plan. So that took me about 3 years to do. Now I've hit the route thing. And so my next plan right now is get the house.
Okay.
But and then now that I started thinking about it, I'm like, okay, once I hit the house and again, maybe do some renovations, get everything set and settled, maybe a newer car. It's like, what's between that and retirement?
That's where I'm going with this.
There's a big gap there, and it's like, huh.
And
Now that I think about it,
yeah, and I don't mean for this to be like existential or depressing.
No.
But it's something that I got off on it. I got on this topic at work, and we just kind of spiraled. Not spiraled, but it was just like, man, I just hadn't thought about it, and it was just one of these great conversations, and that's why it came to me as a topic. It's because I'm like, fuck, this was just like a great conversation because it's something that didn't like you just said. You didn't like what's between that and retirement. Fuck, I didn't think of that at all either until my buddy said that. So
and all of a sudden you have to sit back and you go, huh, what do I want with my life?
what is my life? What is the meaning of my life? Like this is
What
when
am I
those
looking
fucking
for?
questions start coming in, I think.
So I think that would turn into a bit more of the smaller term stuff where it'd be like, you know, once you're all settled and everything, you're like, oh, maybe I'll take up a hobby. And
Yeah.
I wanted to get into woodworking or something.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's fuck around.
Never
with
did
that.
it.
Maybe you, like, learn another language even though you already
Yep.
know several. Maybe it's Could be something as small as, okay, well, no, for this year, I'm going to lose weight.
Yeah,
I'm
year
gonna be
by
healthier.
year goals.
I'm
That's
gonna-
a big one.
You know,
Yeah.
That's almost
There's-
where. Sorry.
No, there can always be something. What were you gonna say?
I was thinking that's kind of an interesting way to look at like New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a yearly
Yeah.
thing, and if you could actually focus more on it and be like, you know what, I'm gonna make this a big deal.
Yeah.
You have a 1 year, you have an end point.
You have a defined timeline goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which everyone enjoys.
They tell me at work that it needs to have a timeline, my goals, and they have to be achievable.
I can't remember your guys's. Yeah, man.
PMP,
PMP.
performance management people. No, I don't know.
Nice.
It's called. I was like, did you do your PMP? Your PMP is coming.
Yo, bro, PMP.
PMP. I'm a motherfucking PMP.
PMP. We don't do verbs here or vowels.
vowels, yeah.
What do you guys do for performance reviews? Sorry to slightly tangent here.
Matt calls me.
Matt's like, hey, Rheal!
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Actually, that was funny. It was last year when I took over the route, it was kind of hovering around 0% or maybe 1% growth, and then I took over, and it, like the next week it was 2%, and then 2 weeks later it was at 4%. And he's like, "Nice, some good growth here," and then it declined. But like everyone followed the same trajectory. So like I'm talking to my coworker, he's like, "I'm down 10%." I'm like, "Oh, I'm only down 6. Yay!"
Hey,
And then
there you go.
fucking for some reason January this year has been fucking nuts. I was like, oh, January, February's are usually pretty slow months,
Yeah.
but no, January's been
Because of all those New Year's resolutions.
yeah,
Cutting
or
out chips.
yeah. People want to be in shape. It's cold outside. People are broke from Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of shit. But it's fucking no. January was off the charts. Then Matt calls me like a couple weeks ago. He's like, "Hey, seriously?" And I'm like, "Plus 8%. That's awesome, man." I'm like,
This is your performance review.
I don't deserve this. I didn't do anything extra. I didn't put in a bunch of hard work. It's just ships were selling.
I love Matty, but it would be very hard to take a performance review from that factor seriously.
Yeah.
Love the guy.
Yeah. No, but it's funny though, because like I don't even have to do the separate work from personal. It all blends and it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
completely.
Yeah. But it's because we work together well, where it's like he tells me like a big thing is getting pictures. He's like, "Man, can you get me some pictures?" And I'll do it for him because
Yeah.
I'm like, I know this is important for you, so I'll do it for you. I'll spend the extra 10
Is it
minutes.
just you in front of the chips like,
No, I'm not in the pictures, but
all Dutch? I was about to say
Hey.
Lays. Ooh, that was close.
shirtless on a rug in front of a fire pit. Like,
Oh, you blend right in.
but no, it's funny working with Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, we tangented.
If you want, I can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like I wanted everyone's perspective.
Okay. So I mean, I think it all depends on really your outlook on life in general, about how you perceive things. Because I mean, when people ask me about that, like, you know, what's between now and like retirement, I don't know. I don't really care to know. I want to keep it as open-ended as possible, right? I mean, people talk about, you know, buying houses, starting a family, and that kind of stuff. And like, I bought a condo that I don't live at.
Yeah.
I'm renting this new place here. I'm taking my CPA course. Like,
Yep.
it's all very short-term goals, like 2-3 years kinds of things. Because I don't know. Even when they ask me at work, it's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I don't know. Like, it all really depends on what my mood is, and, you know, anything could happen. I could be here. I could be in Venezuela, you know, begging on the streets. Like, anything's a possibility.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Anything's a possibility, but what do you want?
Yeah, that's the important thing too. And I think at least for me, it's like I don't really know what I want. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, like moving out to this
You're
place.
at the. Well, you're not at the what the fuck now, but maybe you.
It's
will
not.
be
It's not.
after.
It's not what the fuck now. It's like I have all these possibilities always floating around in my head. It's about, all right, what do I want to settle on?
Okay.
It's
yeah.
not. It's not about which or are there options.
It's which one do
options.
I want?
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
And I think you can look at it as you can look at it as a negative or a positive, as a like, oh, what am I looking, or what do I want now? And like, oh my goodness, like, oh, I don't know what I want or what's going on, or like, oh, I got nothing to look forward to, or it can be an open-ended. Man, what do I want to do now?
Yeah.
Like, I got free time, I've got everything settled. Shit,
Yeah.
I can actually pursue something else now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a negative.
It doesn't have to be a negative. You're right.
Yeah.
And I guess, I definitely framed it as a negative.
I think it kind of
I mean,
leads
like,
itself to being negative.
well, some people like the not knowing what the future holds is a scary thing. Some people embrace that, just like open-endedness. Some people are like, no, I need to know where I'm
I
going.
need to have
or
my
else
5-year plan.
yeah, or else
Man,
they
how
feel
do you-
lost.
Yeah.
How do you have a plan though? Because like shit gets fucked up so quickly.
And that's, I mean,
Like goddamn.
it's almost, that's the way life is, right? What is it? You make plans and God laughs or something. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Oh.
What's that saying?
Actually, I don't know that quote.
If
but-
you want to make, that's it. If you want to make God laugh, make plans. That's what it is.
Interesting.
But where the hell was I going with that?
Stuff just happens. Life
Yeah,
happens.
stuff happens, but it seems like everyone's like, everyone I know is pretty goal oriented.
Oriental.
Everyone I know is goal oriental. No, that's just Jayson. Just Jayson is goal oriental.
Ramen is goal.
I just had ramen.
Um,
I guess that's what I mean. Like everyone has goals, so life happens, sure. But it seems like everyone has some sort of plan.
Yeah, but that's the thing with our friends group. We're all very laissez-faire. Like, just we'll see where life takes us.
It's perfect use. Perfect use.
So like even
Perfect accent.
when we make plans for like doing something, it's never like hey, in this much time do you want to do something, or like unless it's you because you're booked up till fucking June. But like when we're making,
I leave for Ireland at the end of June. Yes, that's
sorry,
correct.
my mistake. But like when we make plans, it's like that night let's do something, or just one night randomly we're like let's go to New Zealand. It's just, like, we had no planning for that. It was just like one night we were just like we're going.
It's not
Tickets
a
are
goal.
bought.
It's not a goal you guys were driving for.
No,
Like,
it just
like,
we were
I
drunk.
know I'm going to go to
yeah,
New Zealand in several years. It was like
drunk one Saturday night. Connor bought plane tickets. That's
Yeah.
how it went.
I love when that happens. That's the fun of life, is that sort of spontaneity with especially travel. I get that. That's awesome.
I think it also really comes down to personal ambitions, right? I mean, if you say you have the drive to try and achieve something, you're going to pick up on something, you're going to try and get it done. If you're sitting and you're content, then that's when you start twiddling thumbs going, well, what do I want to do next? I mean, I could go out and do this, or I could go out and do that, or I can just, sit at home and enjoy what I have.
Yeah. So I guess that's what I'd like to ask then. We did a bit of like some of the, goals with these guys. You say you have like options. Would you be willing to expand on those
Elaborate?
options?
Yeah, certainly. I mean,
Elaborate. That's a better word.
I'm gonna the stuff that I have planned out. I'm gonna get my CPA, become a full-fledged grown-up accountant. I'm gonna level up in that department there. Beyond that, I don't know. I kind of want to start my own business again. Maybe check out with some friends about what they want to do. I know Christian talks a lot about doing his own brewery and that kind of stuff. That'd be cool to plan out.
Yeah,
figure
that would
out.
be.
All right. Also, I've really been into drawing, and again, with all this recording stuff, maybe do a little cartoon. I have plans. You guys will see in the next little bit. I've actually laid out concrete plans to record some extra funny shit that I think is going to be fantastic. And now that I have my own place to record, we can make that a reality. So I kind of want to do stuff like that. And
Cool.
It's just like, it's all of these open-ended things that I have little bits of interest in. I can turn it into bigger interests by diving deeper in them, or I can just keep them as little hobbies here and there.
Yeah. Oh, you got quite the spread.
Also, I want to do stand-up comedy.
Yes, and I want that back. It was so funny. So I was just out for dinner with my Uncle Johnny and Auntie Nicole, and I forget how you came up again. And she's like, "Did you know he does stand-up comedy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've never seen it, but I do. I did know that." She's like, "I can't believe that he does stand-up comedy."
like who does that?
Yeah, well, apparently Jayson.
Actually, it's funny. You brought up a point that I forgot, but is actually very important to me.
I forgot it was important.
You too
Damn
want
it.
to do stand-up? No.
My dream. No, it's how how would you say that? Just maintaining, or just like
Is
I said,
maintaining the goal.
no, not even
like,
maintaining the
like
goal. Is
being content with what you
being
have.
content.
Yeah, sorry,
and
that's-
stabilizing, where it's like, okay, I'll get my house, I'll get my renovations done, maybe get a newer car, and then maybe for like 5 years, I'm just gonna chill.
Yeah.
Just going
people
to
like-
exist.
What are you working towards? I'm like, nothing. I'm waiting to see what's the next anime that's on this season, and I'll watch some YouTube
Yeah.
and fucking go to work.
But like that's the thing. Even like a byproduct of that is probably growth in your savings. When all of a sudden that 5-year thing is up, you can go, oh shit, I have lots of money. Let's do something big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there'd be some good benefits to it, but it's like no one really. It's almost like it's not accepted. No, not accepted, but it's almost
No, I
frowned
see
upon.
what you're saying. It's almost frowned upon to, not almost. I'd say it is. It seems to be content.
Mm-hmm.
There's always got to be the next thing. You always got to be what hustle culture, right?
Oh, the
You're
hustle
always on
culture
the
is
fucking
fucking.
hustle.
Oh, that's a dangerous thing.
Oof.
And
Thank you, Jim Pankey, as I said before.
Should have lost the train of thought.
Sorry, Ray.
No, but actually, it's kind of like I've said this other times on the podcast, and I always sort of looked at it as a negative, where it's Matt was talking a lot about personal growth, like getting better in yourself.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, gonna work out or learn a new language or learn a skill or a hobby, and I'm always sitting there like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. Like I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to. And it's like you don't want to improve yourself. You're like, well, that's bad. No, you should be improving yourself, but also.
But are you like?
Are you happy?
Are you happy? That's what it comes
Yeah,
down
like
to.
if you're happy, then like
I just ate a double quarter pounder. I'm hella happy.
you're a very simple man.
I'm fat and happy. So.
But it's strange that is like it's like you're happy, like not just you, but like just being happy where you are. That is somehow like for some reason like looked down upon.
Yeah, and especially if it doesn't, like I'd understand that a little more if like say you like had a family and you know you couldn't provide for your kids, but like if somebody just like if Rheal wants to do his thing and is happy, like that's all I want is for people to be happy. I think I've said this before. My whole like revelation after COVID became you do you, boo. Like that is just like what I live by now. Like we'll talk about something in the news and I'm like, fuck, like if it's not hurting anyone, like you do you, boo.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
or if you think that, whatever. You can think that as much as you want. Like I don't care. Or you know, it's so like in this example, you know, what makes you happy? That makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like being at your being at this level of living and doing what you like to do on a daily basis. You do you, boo. That's fucking awesome. Great. You know? I'm happy. I'm happy you're happy.
Yeah, if you're happy where you're at, then by
Yeah.
all means. If you're like doing the same things and you're in a rut and you're not happy,
Yeah, or if you're complaining about it, like, oh man, I'm just so sad.
yeah, it's like,
It's like, well, okay, then maybe change.
let's
If
do
you're
something to
happy-
fix it.
yeah, exactly. But if you're happy, like, just great, good for you.
Yeah, it's people just don't accept where it's like,
You're the exception, Rheal. I find like you've always been in that regard. Like I remember like working at A&W. It's like, Rheal, why didn't you do this? You're like, I don't know. Huh.
whatever.
No, who was it? It was Roxy. Was like, don't you wanna like be promoted? And you're like, no, I like what I do.
Yeah,
This is good.
I'm cooking
Hang
in
out with
the
my
back.
friends all day.
how could this get better?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you can move up to manager and make $2 an hour more and have 100 times more stress.
That was
I'm like,
it.
the fuck, no, no, ew,
Ew.
gross. Shoot, I forgot the thing. No. Yeah. No. Just be happy. Do your thing.
Don't worry, be happy. This has been the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. Not our funniest episode, sure. I don't know.
but
Is this interesting? I don't know. I thought it was
think
an
it is.
interesting topic.
Yeah, it's
Oh, here
it's
comes
nice
Jay.
to,
But sorry, no, still.
but no, it's nice to talk about something that isn't just like stupid, where we're all making each other laugh,
Entertaining
like,
and stupid.
entertaining and stupid. But like, yeah, like because that's something like we said at the start, like you don't ever think about this.
No, I didn't.
I didn't until now, and
Yeah, and I probably just I ruined your whole life.
now I realize I've stagnated and I need to change. And
But have you stagnated?
No, I haven't.
Right?
Ray just starts sobbing,
God damn it, Bernice.
ugly crying.
Do you guys find that, like, a lot of the times when you say you don't have anything planned or you don't think about this a whole heck of a lot, that when all of a sudden, someone close to you or your friends start doing something, you go, I haven't considered that. I might want to try that. Because the way I originally thought about my CPA program was that I never really wanted to become an accountant, right? But I think right after I kind of quit my job managing edible arrangements, I came back from my little sabbatical, and our friend Dan was like, hey, I'm getting back into school. I'm going to go and do programming. And I saw him go through 3 months of studying and working at that. And I thought, if Dan can do it, I can go back to school.
It was a great setup.
Yeah. So that sort of, gave me the kick in the butt to go, that's what I want to do.
You consider something that you put off or didn't realize that you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, all of us are doing, stuff here and there. We're you, Connor, and Kevin got married in the last couple of years there. Connor's
was just a party for me.
Connor's having a kid.
Connor's having a kid.
Yeah.
Which is horrifying.
Yeah.
Thank God Chelsea's gonna be there too.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, do these things sort of trigger something in your mind going, that's something that's
I want to get pregnant.
There's an emoji for that now.
Finally.
Rheal? Yeah, Sil? Is this the moment on live TV? Yeah. Rheal, will you have my child?
It's like that.
Stefan's like such a good storyteller that I lived that. I lived it.
It's like that Life of Brian skit, I want to be Loretta. Why do you want to be a woman named Loretta? Because I want to get pregnant.
I want to get pregnant and have babies. But no, to circle back to your question. No, I see what you're saying, but actually it's not something I've really thought of. But because when you're together with someone for so long and so many people have asked you about having kids, we know what we're doing for that. Like, you don't need to fucking ask us if we're having kids. Anyone ever again? And the way I'll just tangent this is, it's especially weird when family members do that because they're asking you if you're raw dogging it. They're like, "Oh, are you and your wife having unprotected sex?" Like, that's a really weird question.
No, you're looking into it too deep.
No, that's fucking. I know.
No, it's funnier when they say, "Oh, we're trying for a kid." Then it's we're
weird.
raw dogging it.
But my uncle always he used to do this because he had kids later. I can't remember how old he was when I was first one, but he didn't have one in his early 20s or anything like that. But he was with his wife for a long time. And when people used to ask him, he used to go, "Yeah, he's like, could you not ask? We're having trouble, and my wife's really sensitive about that." And he said people would always go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Really? No, not really. But what if that was true? So fuck off." Like that. But there's that portion of it too. Especially nowadays. My God, what a taboo subject. The amount of infertility now, the way I phrase it, I always try to phrase it as if we have kids, if we can have kids, because it's such a, no one talks about it, but a lot of people can't have kids. Definitely. I don't know if it's all the fucking plastic we're eating or what. Will I get censored for that? I don't know. But it's a bigger problem now. So, I really tangented there, but what I'm saying is I hadn't thought about it. That's all, it's funny. Fuck, you have these plans. And if we didn't have if we didn't have that plan, I guess if we can't have kids, we'll just keep being dinks and traveling the world. I don't know, because we're kind of doing the mad dash now after a 2-year pause of COVID. But I mean, I didn't mean to get into the whole kids thing here on this. I didn't mean to share that. Sorry, Brian. I don't even know what my point was there. I just rambled for 5 minutes.
That's this podcast.
That's
in a
why,
nutshell.
that's why we don't stop.
That's what we do.
But I'm not drunk or hungover this time.
That's why
And
it was a
we
lot
didn't
more.
rip any bridges off with the truck and knock it back into place.
That's why it was a lot more coherent this time. We can follow along.
Last time was bad.
That was funny. It's funny shit. Yeah.
That's good television.
God, I can't think at this moment. Every time I'm like, oh, there's a thought, and then it's gone.
Yeah, sorry. That's why I don't like rambling like that. But
No. Usually something comes up and you're like, oh, let me
let me
keep rolling with that.
Yeah.
I've always just had the idea that it's, you can't compare yourself to others as much as you try not to.
Comparison is the thief of happiness.
You and your quotes.
My boss told me that like a few years ago, and I just think that's a fucking awesome line because it's so true. Anytime you're comparing, you should never compare yourself to anyone else. You should be comparing yourself to the year before. And if you're unhappy with yourself now compared to the year before, then sure. But
last year I had catalytic converters.
Last month you had a catalytic converter.
That's Rheal's goal is getting one.
Well, it's gonna be a long-term goal now.
How long will that take to get?
No, it won't take long. And
It's
the
just-
price is gonna be a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, it's not no insurance. Can you get insurance for that?
Yeah, that's the next thing I have to look into.
I mean, somebody stole the catalytic converter.
Okay,
in your
no,
truck.
it's just side topic.
Sorry.
This is fucking stupid. So I made the insurance claim. I have a fucking auto policy package. You have a $500 deductible.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone I talk to, they're like, you pay the deductible, and then SGI pays the repairs.
Yeah.
That's how it fucking works.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. I talked to the guy at SGI. He's taking pictures. He's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have to get a replacement. And I gave him some estimates that I had heard, which were way too low.
Yeah.
But I gave him some numbers. And he's like, oh, and yeah, so you have to pay the depreciation on the part. I was like, what?
Oh.
And he's like, so we give catalytic converters, it's the life of the vehicle, so you give it 300,000 K, and you're at 170, so you'll have to pay about 50%. I was like, what? I've never heard of this before. And every single person I talk to is like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Maybe that's I don't know. I've never had to replace a part.
Yeah, I've never. This is the first claim I've ever made, so I'm.
You gotta explain the story.
Oh, someone stole my catalytic converters.
That's the whole story.
That's the story.
Start and end.
Fuckers.
He got there in the morning, turned it on, and it was really fucking loud.
Jesus, was that fucking loud. Okay, when you hear like those people, the big trucks driving down the road and they fucking floor it, it's loud as fuck. It was even louder than that.
Just idling.
Just idling. Good God. I was like, so yeah, when it first started, it was really loud, and then it kind of idled down to like stable. I'm like, okay, it's loud, but it's not crazy. Let's try driving to Walmart. And the instant you hit the gas, holy fuck, this thing's not a race car. So, yeah, no, fucking, so. Shit. So the thing is, I'm like, oh, I have to pay a $500 deductible. And it's like, well, no, you're going to pay a bit more. And I was like, oh, maybe it'd be an extra $400.
How much is it?
Right now, I'm looking at like an extra $1,800.
Oh my God.
And it could be more like $2,000.
No wonder they stole it. That's worth a lot.
Apparently, well, I asked.
Well, I mean, you sell them for metal. Like you don't.
No. There's rare metals inside.
Yeah, but you don't sell them for a catalytic converter. Like
No. Yeah, they disembark it or whatever. But
they take it apart and sell the.
But I mean, they're probably selling it for like $300-400. It's like, no, I'm buying these fuckers for. This point,
you're buying a depreciated
$1,800.
Well, sorry. Is $1,800 50%?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So the one guy I talked to, I was like, well, I wanted factory, not a universal. Because I want to make sure it works with the codes and it'll actually clear my engine light. And he's like, oh yeah, so the only ones I found were from California and they could ship it out. And just the part and the brackets and everything was $3,800, not including shipping or labor. I was like, fuck me, $3,800.
Do I have one of those on my truck?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I don't
Everyone
I don't want it.
Hopefully just one.
Hopefully just one.
But
I don't want anyone to steal it.
for most vehicles, you actually kind of have to jack it up to get underneath to actually get at it. Mine, they could literally just walk right to it.
Okay.
It was the easiest. So, I'm debating that right now.
You are a master debater.
I'm gonna try. Might just leave it straight piped. Get that horsepower, yeah.
Just be the biggest dude.
Is there a loss of like performance or anything? Or is it just
No, it's more performance when you straight pipe.
So,
but it's
just
just
louder?
It's tiny bit louder, but it's like a regular vehicle now.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It sounds like because they weld in a pipe
Yeah.
because the muffler was still there.
Yeah.
And the muffler is the thing that quiets down.
Yeah.
So it sounds
muffles.
Must be the name.
Must be in the name.
So, but no, it drives like a normal vehicle. The only thing is the exhaust smells a bit worse because it's not clearing it out as good, and my engine light is on. But that's literally the only two issues, and I'm like, you know what?
Let it ride.
Maybe I can live with that for $2,000.
I smashed my Grand Am 5 or 6 times, and then I got it repaired at the end and I'm glad I waited.
Yeah.
Because the first time was my fault. And I told the guy like, oh, I'm just gonna like fix it myself. And then it got a hit and run. A guy backed up into me at the university, turned on his car, and I'm just watching it. I'm like, hey.
You just watch him back into you?
Yeah. And then I got rear-ended on the university bridge. I think I told that story one time. Yeah, I know I've told this exact story on the podcast. But my point was that I waited because more bad shit happened. And then it got totaled. Let's just wait to total off your truck.
I mean, I can try.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of need that for work, though. The Grand Am, you could, leave it in the ditch and you could bust to school. But you can't really delivering chips on the old...
Light it on fire and claim insurance total off that way.
Deliver chips on my bike.
Yeah.
The Walmart order took me all day, baby. One case at a time.
Because we live in such a spread out fucking province.
Oh boy.
Ray's legs are just like fucking massive by the end of the week.
I'm doing biathlons on the side.
I don't skip leg day. Every day is leg day.
All day, every day. Leg day.
But I digress.
I want a new
I
truck.
digest.
I'm trying, man. That Japa Shack. Love that shit. This podcast brought to you by Japa Shack. Do you like
That's not
sweet
true.
and hot? And I'm not just talking about me, ladies. Japa Shack.
Sorry, Brian.
Holy shit, that was great.
Thank you, Ray. I just made that up.
That was amazing.
I was pretty happy with myself on that one.
Well
See,
done.
this is what happens when I'm not drunk or hungover. It's overall less interesting, but you get those little nuggets.
There's intelligence in there somewhere.
There's some
It's
rattling
buried
around.
deep under years
Sparks
of
of them
alcoholism.
somewhere.
I got this far somehow.
Got an engineering degree somehow. Speaking of which,
We just copied off each other. Don't let me design a bridge.
hey,
I don't know how to do it.
as long as the one truck can pass before it collapses, you've passed the
Well,
level.
You can just knock it back into place with the crane going the other way.
Can always
We
knock it
solved
back.
this last time. I know we talked about this.
Oh yeah.
I might have been still a little drunk, but I know we talked about it.
God, that was a haggard day.
Like Hagrid, like you're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard.
You're a hairy wizard.
You're a Harry wizard. Huh.
There's a lot of new movies coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Did you see the new Is it the new Spiderman out?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm waiting to watch it on a plane. I watch all my Marvel movies on planes because Brianna, she said, she's like the way she put it. She's like, I'm old enough to be able to say, I don't like superhero movies, okay? And I don't have to explain that. Like, okay, yeah, that's
Fair
totally
enough.
fine. But I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy those Spider-Man, so I'm gonna watch it on the plane this summer.
Damn. Good idea.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's really good though.
Yeah, I've heard.
I don't watch movies though, so.
Yeah, because you're always falling asleep.
Well, yeah, because fucking they always play after 6 p.m.
Like, do you like at least like fucking rub one out before bed, or do you just hit the pillow like at 6 o'clock?
Nah, you don't need that. Just raw power. Can't handle all this.
Oh, I pity you.
I think you would do.
Me too.
You would do great at the trailer park my parents are at with all the old folks.
What? Your parents are at a trailer park?
Yeah, they
States.
never spend the winter here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They still have the house on
On that
street.
they live
I
on.
don't want to give away your
Yes,
address.
they
Wait,
do.
if someone
the
tries to
parents'
bomb
house?
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, they
Jihadists come.
yeah.
People look like me.
Oh,
I get bomb swabbed at the airports.
randomly selected.
That's the most racism I feel, though, so I will not complain.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm a white heterosexual male. I fucking won the lottery.
I don't know pain.
You got randomly selected when we were coming back from New Zealand.
Did I?
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
When we were coming
Oh, maybe.
back?
Like literally everybody, like all the rest of us got through, even Jayson, and he's our only minority friend.
I did?
You got randomly selected.
So they looked through
They
my
looked through your
luggage?
bag, yeah.
Cool. I don't remember.
Whereas I'm about like 50-50 on the random selection. That's why I say this, because it's like I'm like, yeah.
How white am I looking today?
It depends on how tanned you were.
Yeah, well, the one eyebrow does not help things.
Oh.
It's unhelpful, but like I said, that is the absolute like most. And I think I told you guys this when I was in Vietnam and like COVID broke out. Oh no, I said the C word. It broke out and people started being like scared of us and afraid. Yeah, they like because we were white, right? And it was like, this is quite the moment. Like a good
eye-opening
moment. Like, so this is what it's like for like a lot of people all the time. Man,
this sucks.
This sucks. I think everyone should feel that at some point.
Yeah, everybody should travel during
travel during spring.
Actually, that'd be an interesting thing. Like, take some racist people and just drop them somewhere where they're the only white person.
That's why the stereotype is like, a lot of, at least even in my life, I find a lot of the most narrow-minded people are people who, and this sounds arrogant, but it's people who haven't been outside the country.
Yeah.
Now, we all don't have the means and methods, and it's very easy for me to sit here and say, you don't know yourself until you travel. but I've noticed that it seems like, like you gotta at least see how other people in the world live. Like, not everything is the way it is here. And I don't know if that's specifically what's been eye-opening to me, but that specific occasion was.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, I don't know. I just love, like, I love other people's culture and shit, like weird, crazy shit. Like, I'm like, I enjoy that. I like, tell me more about that. That's crazy. This is so cool. Like, it's not the everyday life that you get to go and eat fucking food that people like picked on the way on your hike and fucking eat snail soups and I don't know, random shit and witness how people like dance or like how they pour their drinks in Spain from like fucking way up here. You pour like a glass of, I forget what it is, and they like, because they want it fizzy, they show you how to pour it up like that. Like all that crazy shit, man. I just live for that shit. Kind of turned into like a bit of an addiction. I mean, I guess there's worse things, but like that's why we're always like on the move, because it's like, what's next?
Yeah, you guys been doing a lot of travel.
Been trying to.
Damn.
Are you trying to hit like every continent, multiple countries in every continent, or
what's your goal?
Yeah, what is your goal?
There's places that we we got to get back to Vietnam. We got to finish what we started. That was a horrible Kylo Ren. We got to finish that, but there's just places that we've wanted to see, and like this next trip to Ireland, like we've always wanted to go. Brianna has forever talked about going to Ireland with her mom, because it's her mom's always wanted to go there, so we're going. Like we booked the tickets while we were in quarantine for having COVID right after we got back from Costa Rica, and they were cheap. They were fucking cheap, and it's like we were like, tickets are cheap. Fuck it, let's book it. So, and I just got clearance from work because I'm more of a beg for forgiveness guy. So yeah, like we're going to Ireland for 2 weeks, and we're going to a wedding in Serbia as well. Ron and Olgi are getting, like, they got married. They were supposed to have their wedding here in March of 2020. Well, you probably could guess how that went. And her family couldn't come over, so they're having like a celebration in Serbia. So me and Brianna are going a few days early, traveling like for 2 days straight. We're gonna spend a weekend in Serbia at this like village, the city, and then a village that they're getting married in, and hightail it back to Dublin and meet Brianna's parents at the airport, and then we're gonna hit Ireland for 2 weeks. So
damn,
yeah, that was like a goal of Brianna's, and of course I'm always down to clown.
On there for the ride.
That one's getting two birds stoned at once. The wedding, like they mentioned the wedding, like, yeah, we might like have a celebration next summer. We're like, really? Wow, we might be in the area. So, and then Costa Rica was more of a.
We just had to get out of Canada.
Well, it was more of like I don't know. Like for as long as we don't have kids, I can almost guarantee we'll go away at Christmas every year, because like I get a free week off work, so
why not?
Why not? Oh, Jayson has something to say.
I got a question about, because like it sounds like you guys put a lot of planning about, where you guys want to be in certain points
But we didn't plan Greece or Costa Rica.
Okay, yeah, that was along my questions, like
Okay.
like the difference between the two styles, because like for our New Zealand trip, it's like, well, we could do this, we could do that, and it was just like kind of like up in the air until like very very last minute, or like
Yeah.
the day of, we were like, all right, we're headed to here to do this, and then
Yeah.
everyone was like, sure. Do you like that, or do you prefer to have like, I'm gonna be here for the weekend for the wedding, then we're gonna hightail it back to the airport in
Yeah.
Ireland, and then we're gonna be at
I prefer to travel the way you just talked about, and that's the way we did it when we were in Europe in 2015 for 3 months. I love that, but unfortunately, in the new COVID world, you can't fucking do that anymore. It's It's damn near impossible because you've got to completely plan everything ahead, and it depends on the season that you go to. If something's a high season, like Costa Rica had no restrictions to get in, so it was a hot spot. Like people were all over that, and we had to like book everything well in advance, almost everything well in advance. But when we went to Europe, it was the opposite, which I prefer. Me and Brianna would show up to a place, and we go, we should probably, when we were at the train station, we go, let's book our tickets for the next place. Look up the next place while we're here. Find a hotel. Brianna did research of like the things to see in each place. But as far as like what we were doing, we had a rough plan, and then the plans changed because plans change. It's like, oh, we can't go here. We can't go to Turkey. Well, let's just go to Croatia. Let's do this. Let's do that. I prefer that way more. It's just a lot harder.
Yeah,
now.
it's a lot. I do enjoy that form too, because I mean, when we were in New Zealand, it'd be like, well, we don't know where we're sleeping the next night. We wouldn't really look for a place until it's like, all right, we should probably have a place to sleep for tonight.
Yeah.
And then we'd start looking for hostels.
Yeah, that's part of the fun, but then that can be also stressful. And then sometimes it comes up with great stories, when I was in Belgium with Matthew and Calvin, like we spent all night on just an adventure of trying to find a place to sleep because there was an international seafood festival that we hadn't looked up, and it was so fucking weird. It was like, oh yeah, all the hotels are full. International Seafood Festival. And we followed people down back alleys, and we went from hotel to hotel and ate donair and drank beers at bars, and people would help us. And we ended up in a place at like 2 a.m. And it was like the loft. It was like the top floor. The elevator stopped, and he's like, no, unlocks the door, and we went up like these literally spiral staircases. Oh man. But so it can lead to that. But on the other hand, I know after I fucked off on that trip and stayed in Greece, those guys couldn't find a place to sleep in Nice, and they ended up like sleeping in a park. Matthew and Calvin, which, like, I don't know. You guys know I'm an optometrist. You can make the best of most situations. I'm not actually an optometrist, just to be clear. I'm an optimist. So
Could have fooled me.
Your eyes are looking a little buggy.
I know.
Yeah, it can make great stories, but it can also be stressful as fuck because it's not fun to sleep on the dirt.
Yeah, and I think it really also depends on the people that you go with.
Yes, that
right?
too.
Because I mean, like the six of us dudes were just like, yeah, kind of going with the flow. But I imagine like, yeah, trying to do that with like family or stuff like that is just going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. I find some people change and go with the flow a lot more. Like when Brianna was living in Aachen in Germany, Brianna's parents went to go visit her there, and Brianna's parents were much more easygoing. Brianna's grandparents were there too. They were not, and there was some clashing, I believe. But they even like kind of adapted. People get this like vacation brain of like, yeah, like we're on vacation. What? We don't got anywhere to be. We don't have anything to worry about. So I don't know. We'll see how this. It'll go great because we get along great. So
we on our 2 week in New Zealand too. We kind of got into this mode. I think closer to the end of it, we're kind of done with this vacation. Like we've done all this traveling. We've kind of seen everything we want. We just kind of want to veg out. So we spent a day sitting in a hotel room just playing Pokemon. And like we were done with it. We're like, yeah, then our flights are tomorrow. We just gotta be, within the area at the end there.
At the end of a trip, that's always great.
Well, like also like when we climbed the Tongariro Trail, that I think was like the point where I was like, this was awesome, but the rest of the trip after that, I was like, I'm fucking exhausted. Like I had a 19-kilometer hike up a mountain that I was not prepared for.
And you got a lot of different personalities on that trip too. You got like Connor go, Kevin just going wherever and not telling anybody, Sylvan and Rheal who are more chill. I don't know. I wasn't there, but
right in the middle.
It was funny because Kevin is not a cardio man.
No.
Kevin had trouble getting up there, and I think
he had trouble getting it up.
He had trouble getting up.
Happens to everyone.
Yeah. Because like it was me and Ray hanging out with Kevin at the back just to make sure he was okay and that kind of stuff. Matt, Connor, and Sil just kind of charged ahead and went up the mountain, and then like they stayed at the top waiting for us to get the view and whatnot, and eventually we all joined up there, and we all started to slowly make our way down, and everyone thought it'd be a good idea to slow down our pace so that we can stay with Kevin, and Kevin doesn't have to worry about catching up to us. I think like maybe like 5 minutes down into the descent, something switched in Kevin's brain. He goes, "No, I don't want to do this anymore," and he just booked it.
Yeah.
And like we didn't see him for like another 2 hours or something like that. And
every corner we were like, "Is that Kevin? That's not Kevin."
And we were just like, "I hope he's okay." And then we get to the end. Kevin's just sitting, resting up against this like signpost. We're like, "Oh, there's Kevin." He's like, "Yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. I mean, I had to get out of there."
So he ran like 8 kilometers down a mountain.
Hey, you do you, boo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it was just like that like it was such a strange dynamic to see his brain just immediately switch over.
Well, that's the thing with a big group of traveling too. I think I've told you guys that before. People have said like, "Oh, like I want to travel. Like we should travel together. We should go on this trip together." And me and Brianna are like, "Yeah, like no offense, but no. There's almost no one that we want to travel with because, like you pay a shitload of money to go somewhere." Either you have to be completely okay with seeing different things and not compromising, because I'm not compromising. Like, I'm sorry, if you don't want to do something and I want to do something, I'm going to do that. Like, me and Brianna will go and do something where this is going to surprise everybody. We barely drink at all in Europe. We barely drank at all in Europe. In 3 months in Europe, we probably got drunk like, I don't know, a grand total of like 10 times, and 5 of those times are on like the Greek islands or something, or meeting people. Like, we are in another country. I can get drunk here and be hungover here. I can feel like garbage here. We're go all the time. I think Brianna's parents are a little scared of that, but like we'll figure it out. It's okay as long as you go in with that. But as far as traveling with people, like I don't even know. I'd probably be okay on that trip with you guys, but like.
Well, the way we designed the trip was that we had 2 cars, and
yes.
If anybody wanted to separate, because there were times when I think me, Ray, and Sil went to go do something, and then Matt and Connor went to do something. Kevin went scuba diving by himself.
Oh, good. You do you, boo.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
see, it always comes back to that.
Like we were comfortable enough where it's like we don't all have to be doing the same things.
Yeah.
And we all just fucked off and did our own things for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good that you all had that understanding and you were mature enough to do that.
Yeah, and I will say, like, back to your point, is like we don't want to travel. Like when you say you don't want to travel with certain people or whatever, I am in the mindset of if they're there for a reason. If I'm if I say I want to travel with you, Stefan, and like you wanna go to Asia or whatever, I'm like, okay, I can show you around some cool ass places in Japan, in Hong Kong. If you guys want to see some special things, I will join you guys on that trip, and I'll devote my time to show you guys what you guys want to see.
Yeah. And it's shared goals. Oh, we came back to goals. It's shared goals when you're on a trip.
Yeah.
Right? Is that a good time to circle back and call it?
Yeah, I think we're good there.
Yeah. I don't know how good this was. I'm not sure.
We'll see how it goes.
I
liked it.
We'll see how many Spotify how many views and stuff.
We'll take. I'll let you guys know. I'll let you know.
What about other episodes? Like other than the one where Christian dished on all his exes or his dates.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Like 3 views. What do we get?
I'll let you know
about that.
I'll let you know after this. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on another episode of the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. Yeah, it's the new place. I'm probably going to dress up the set a little bit more as time goes on, but
I still need to make that sign.
yeah.
What does it say?
It's an entertaining stupid sign. With
I was going to say like Matthew has AIDS or something.
We weren't telling people that.
Oh, now everyone knows.
Well, like the two people
Sorry,
that listen to this.
Ashley.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll catch you guys next week.
We didn't introduce ourselves at the start. Can we
Bye.
introduce ourselves now? And
Okay,
then
fine. Yes.
Gets cut.
Well, we'll dub this in. Bye, guys.
Da-na-na, 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 da-da-da-da-da.
Terrible.